So this is my JZX100 CHASER and we are going to start to prep it for painting. The car is great, but it definitely needs some love, especially the paint. The paint is rough, so I've decided to respray the whole car. And in order to do so, we need to start preparing it to get painted. But first, we're going to start with the doors. So here I'm just removing the necessary clips and bolts and every trim pieces in order to remove the door panel. And the next step is to remove the panels outside of the doors, which are glued and painted. So I had to use some pry tools and a heat gun. Okay, so we got all the door cards off. So basically there are two outside trim pieces, that one and this over there for both doors. Well, the front door was a little bit of pain in the ass because I had to use this thing and a hammer and a lot of heat to get it off, but it survived. And also the lower trims have these clips. So on the first one I destroyed the inner part and the outer part because I thought that they're just clipped in, but they're actually screwed behind the door, like from the inside. So you take the screw out and then you can compress this noses here. But I think that's a stupid design and I broke nearly all of them. So yeah, we will see. But after googling and searching a little bit, so you can either buy those clips new or you can download 3D printing files. So you can print your own clips and also the inserts for the trim pieces. So I guess we're gonna do that. And I did have another casualty, which was the metal thing with the switches. Now I have a passenger broken thing and a driver broken trim piece. Which sucks, but it is what it is. Also, we got the dashboard out, but that's in the last video if you want to watch it. And you could see in the time-lapse that I removed the side skirt because it was simply impossible to get the lower trim off with the side skirt on at the front door. So this is here. This also has a little bit of damage here, for example. So there's like a little bit missing. That came with the car. This one has also damage, which is still on the car, but this is from me destroying it. Oh, well, it's not destroyed, but a little bit cracked from spinning out on the track day that we've been to. We got all the door cards out. Now in the next step of our disassembly process, we are going to remove this moldings. I've tried it on the back door and I got it off. But the result of it is that I broke every clip but one. So this is how the clips look like. And to be honest, they're a little bit of pain in the ass to get off. And another issue that it's very cold. So my plan on the front door is to remove the glass and try to heat it up with a heat gun a little bit. So it's more flexible because the moment you apply some pressure on it, they just break. So we will see. So let's remove the glass. So remove the glass and also try to heat the clips up, but honestly, like 3 out of 5 broke. So yeah, you can see. So if you're doing this yourself, I can give you an advice. Don't try to hit it like in between, like here. Try to hit it on the flat spot, because every time I tried like to stretch the clip, it just will break. I looked it up, you can still buy them new from Amayama, so I guess we'll do that. And in the following sequences you can see me removing the B-pillar cover and all the other rubber stuff to get the whole garnish from the side of the car off. So I removed the like the sealant stuff around the doors. They are just clipped in with a lot of like these small tiny clips. Also, I've removed the center garnish thing, which broke completely. So every clip is broken here. That's an issue. Other than this, the whole trim here, like the molding, it's a little bit of pain in the ass to get off because you need to actually warm it up. The service manual, the maintenance manual says you should warm it up to 40 to 60 degrees Celsius. So I did that because I think there's some kind of glue under here. And then you need to rotate it upwards, and then you can release, because there are two clips here or brackets that are holding it, so it will not drop down. Well, yeah, we had to remove it because that's really annoying. So the previous owner painted the car, but you can see white all over here. And if you look at if you look from that angle, you can still see it even though the trim is on. So that's something I don't want. So this trim piece here, I believe, is just pulling it upwards and it will come off. So yeah. Well, that's a trim piece. Now I think this should pretty much come off if I'm not wrong. So there you can see like that's where they painted before, which is fine. You didn't see anything. But if we're gonna paint like this stuff, then you might as well go and do it 10% more. Nice, and now we're holding the whole thing in our hands. So I've been too fast. I tried it in the front, but now you can actually see it. So you just go, heated it up as well a little bit. Then you pry and hope it doesn't break. Nice. And all three clips are fine. Nice. Next up in our disassembly process is the front and the rear bumper. And for that, of course, I looked it up. So there's one nut in the corner, there's a clip, I suppose. It's all hidden behind some like garnish or whatever you'd like to call it. And these are fixed with clips like that. With a lamp we can also see some stuff. That's one. There's another one we could undo. Nice. So we can move this more around. Okay, I got it out. Kind of hard to film this stuff alone, but yeah, it's what it is. So there's also the nut and the bowl and the clip. I guess we don't have to remove the taillights. So yeah. And there are also 3 screws or 2 of them behind this trim, which is also mounted with these clips. And after removing the clips, you just need to pull it upwards, and then you can release this metal things, which are broken in my case, but it's whatever. So there's also there's this nut, and there's another one on the other side. Also, working with frozen hands is not very fun. It has like -5 degrees. This is insane. Bumper is off the car. I also forgot to undo one bolt, which is mounted right here. So that's important because otherwise you won't get it off. And another tricky part was that the lower part of the bumper, I'm not quite sure if this is, like, I guess this is the original Tourer V kit lip for the rear bumper. It's glued to the quarter panel in the back, so I had to cut it a little bit and also damage the paint. But it's getting painted anyway, so who cares? So yeah, just to show you again. So there are 3 of these. I'm not sure why there are 3 and not 4, but hey. There is this nut, then there is like that bolt. That's an alignment pin, and that's an alignment pin as well. And that's pretty much it if you want to remove your bumper in the back. Now we can also remove the seal, which you also need in order to paint it. And then we will go to the front bumper. And for the front bumper we have 3 clips up here. Then there are 2 bolts right here, so the fender is holding it. So 1 bolt per side, I think. And there are also bolts under here that you need to remove. And then we are hopefully clear enough to take it off. Also you need to, oh right, there's one under the indicator, and the indicator is held by 1 Phillips head. Front bumper is off, and there's one thing we definitely need to address. First of all, due to the front mount intercooler, there is no bash bar. Normally it's integrated into the front bumper as a reinforcement, but a lot of people that are mounting front mounts are just deleting those. I don't think it's a good idea. Here you can see the mounting points for it. This and on the other side as well. So the problem with that is on any impact, you definitely have a lot of damage. And also there was a tiny incident probably because this is all rusty. And also I had the problem that my indicator won't align properly. So it always sticks out a little bit and just looks like shit. So yeah, I need to fix that as well. I guess something a hammer can fix, but we'll see. Maybe the shop guy will do it that's painting the car. And this leads us to the last thing we need to remove. Front fenders are 3 screws here, or 4. I think 3, there's 1 left. I undid these 2 to get the indicator out, which was a pain in the ass. Not sure why, but it's really stuck in there and it sucks. There's also 1 bolt behind the door somewhere here. And there will probably, yeah, there are 2 bolts here as well. And everything that holds the fender liner in place needs to get unscrewed as well, which makes sense in order to remove the fender. That being said, let's start removing the fender. So I think I'm gonna wrap up this video because I think it's enough for a video. If you liked it, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel maybe if you want, and we'll see each other in the next video.